You're listening to Rebel Spirituality with me, Sam Goldfinch. Here's the truth. Wisdom doesn't follow rules. So each week we're going to explore what it means to wake up your way so you can live a more peaceful, creative and inspired life no matter your circumstances. It's time to blaze your unique path to truth. Hey Rebel friends. Okay, let's start with a statement. Feelings can't travel. And now I'll unpack that. We'll explore that together. It really feels like feelings can travel, doesn't it, right? It feels like feelings can travel to the future. They can travel to next Saturday or that job interview that's happening in a month or Christmas or whatever it might be. And it looks like they can travel out there, kind of do a recce, get some information and send it back, right? It really feels like that with the future. And it feels like our feelings can go back into some past time in the past, and have an exploration and see what was going on and really get a live feed of what happened a year ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and send a bunch of information back, and then we can feel it, right? It really looks like that. It really looks like feelings can leave us and go inside somebody else's head. And when they're inside somebody else's head, it really looks like we're feeling what somebody else is thinking. Right? It's like, oh my God, all these, like, what could they possibly think of me? All these judgments. And, it really looks like that, right? It really looks like feelings can travel next door to our neighbors, our crazy neighbors, and give us information about what they're doing and how they feel about us and what they think about us. And it really does look like that. And it really looks like, we'll stop in a minute, but I think it's really cool to kind of paint this, because if your experience is anything like mine, this is an easy trick to fall for, right? It really looks like our feelings can travel to another country and give us information about what's happening in that other country. Perhaps there's something happening in Thailand, or perhaps there's something we learn of something on the news, and then we find ourselves ruminating or thinking about what it must be like for those people, and it really feels to us like we're getting information about what's going on out there, and it really feels to us like feelings can travel into government buildings and all these different things, and we live in a world where things don't always go according to plan from our opinion, so we're constantly getting seemingly feedback on all this stuff that's going on out there in the world. But that's actually a huge trick, and the truth of the matter is that feelings can't actually travel. It really feels like they can, and it's just an important thing to explore and know. It's not like we're trying to constantly effort ourselves into reminding ourselves of that. But there's something to see here. Because when we really see that it doesn't work that way, when we see that we're living in the feeling of our own internally generated perceptual reality, when we see that we're living in a world of thought, when we see that we're living in our own reality tunnel or reality bubble, it really does something for us. It does something for us because in that moment we're now in alignment with how life works. And if you think about it, if we think our feelings can travel, it would make sense for us potentially even to travel to those places, to change things in those places, to try and impact how we feel. Like someone might literally do that, right? But the moment we realize, oh, that's not what's going on, my feelings aren't giving me information about where it looks like they are, it's giving me information about what's moving through me here now, we're like, oh, I don't have to do that. Perhaps I don't have to live with that insecurity, right? And then what arrives is clarity, is an ability for us to be able to make decisions that are very much in alignment with what we'd like to see in the world. It's not like we realize that and then suddenly we just sit on the sofa and don't do anything for the rest of life. It's actually very life-giving to realize, oh, wow, like I'm not a victim of all of that stuff out there. I'm feeling my thinking. And that settles the system down when we really see that, right? Because we don't have to do that to ourselves, right? But it's the insight, it's seeing how it works that's going to start settling the system. We can't force this. And then, as I say, we'll do what makes sense to us, but it will be with a feeling, less of a feeling of urgency. So it's so powerful to see that. Either we're insightfully seeing for ourselves that we are living in our own reality tunnel and that we have feelings and thinking and it's all safe, it's all okay. Or we're kind of innocently caught up and we think that our experience is coming from outside of us And then it can feel like the world is pulling us around, and there's a world out there that has power over how we think and feel. But that's just never how it works. It doesn't work like that. So there we go. There's my share for this week. Your feelings can't travel. And in knowing that, maybe you don't have to travel around so much in your thinking, trying to kind of control everything and that kind of stuff. Maybe it's just in seeing that. Well, it is just in seeing that the system will start to use its psychological immune system to bring you back to clarity in those moments when you see how life works. Awesome. If anyone's heard anything in this, I'd love to hear from you. Go and have an amazing week. I'll see you soon.